It's... Ooh. Hold on. Need to do one little tweak. I don't know how I feel about this. Ooh. Anyways, it's back. So, in case anybody forgot, we left the last stream out on dark mode. Ooh. I'm gonna adjust the camera. Do that set time of day though. That way we can better go over. No, we'll just do that again. Okay, never mind. Well, let's go over what's happened between streams. Always love to do that a little first off. First things first. Mentioned I was gonna fill out this stadium area after stream. Hopefully we can get it into light mode at some point. Obviously that'll be later in the stream. But I might have gone a bit overboard. Please. Calm down. Calm down, chirper. I'll be happy when we get the hats back. Anyways, might have gone a bit overboard. So, we've added to the football stadium. We now have another football stadium. Different football. Tennis courts, basketball courts, which I'm gonna be honest. That one, if we're talking school sports, probably takes place in the school gymnasium, going based off of my experience from high school. It's basketball was always a winter sport, so you were never going to be doing that outside. I'm sorry, I just had flashbacks. Anyways, but yeah, and so originally started with all this. Didn't really do much with the parking lots, and then I just filled that out, getting a bunch of these little tree park areas. Expanded out back here. As you can see, we've actually got a bit of commercial being built up over here. Since this is sort of a main road, I thought it might be a good idea, especially because it's close to the stadium. So these could be restaurants that people go to after a game, celebrating and all that. Or just, you know, when you need to go a bit sneaky, get some concessions, because, you know, it could be one of those places whereby they charge you a bit much on concessions. I'd say open to interpretation. Most sports/band boosters I've had to deal with. You know, it's better than when I go to Cites and get 2 hot dogs for $1. Yeah, it's 1 hot dog, but the pop's still cheaper. Anyways, so built this out, got a lot of little parking space there. Filled in this with another park. I think. So that's about it over there for post-stream. This I actually did pre-stream. I did it yesterday. We built up the town square for Livland Junction. Gave it a nice, like, probably overboard park, but we don't have assets yet is the problem. Like, I know I can turn on dev mode, but the more I'm doing decorating, and I've really gotten into it with Cities 2, surprise. I'm getting more into a lot of features from Cities 1 and Cities 2. I'm going to be honest with you there. I feel more into using them in this game, but I swear the more I'm decorating, the more I do want to get those turn on dev mode so I can have those assets, because that is what is missing from these parks. Like in Cities 1, I would definitely be having like food trucks somewhere in this park. Okay, so I actually, I'm just putting more into the parks really now. That's the thing. Okay, so coming back over here though, another sort of pre-stream yesterday thing I did was I built out this area. I figured we're not really going to put any sort of residential development, commercial development there. Commercial development might have been in consideration, as this kind of does give me a bit of a vibe, but instead I just decided to put in parks. These open areas, I figured you'd probably have pavilions or something. I don't even think those are in dev assets right now, so yeah. And then we just have another park right here out in front of the soccer field because it feels lopsided to me. Alright, so that covers Livland Junction between the streams. Oh! I almost forgot. We had it in the community pool over here too. Originally I had this bit inverted, but I realized the parking lot does work better on the side with the building. Just because of the layout, because of the asset. I think these roads were built out for the most part. I did build out this center road right here because I figured we're probably going to expand the grid out. And then in doing some work, I have a bit of a plan for something we're going to do over here. There's a lot planned this stream. But speaking of building out parks, Grandview Park, which, oh, you'll see it when daylight comes, got a good amount of the asset works. Like, I planted trees galore. I'm going overboard on trees. But, yeah, there's like probably, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 parks here. 8 base game parks. And a lot of paths. So we got small segments of making custom parks, so to speak. But I sort of hit that sort of, you know, those types of developments whereby these people are going to probably be paying a homeowners association fee. And so all of that goes into maintaining their skinny itty bitty alleyways. But also, you know, maintaining this giant park that the entire community can enjoy. And definitely probably doesn't have... No homelessness yet. I'm not going to mention something in case people do notice. Additionally, something you might have seen during the overview, another thing I was working on last stream, I decided to begin sectioning off our resources. So I've built out an area around here, some areas over here, area for the oil well there. Just built those out with, I use paths to draw their borders because what we'll do is when we plop in the actual industrial districts, the ploppable, we can actually snap the borders to the paths. And just because I also did add parking lots to the ones that we're actually going to build later today on stream. Let's see, nothing happens in, you know, Lakeview. But, yep, another thing you can take note of, put in some roads here, just filling out the land in between these assets, and I forgot to apply power there, so let's draw on a power line real quick. But, yeah, so we've got a bunch of residential about to pop in here, and that's actually kind of good because between streams, I've decided we're going to go down the river. We're going to build up the junction for our 2 segments of the Riverside Highway. Merge those 2 in. Actually, I think we might have enough tiles that will we'll go further up along here and begin expanding South River Township a bit. This one, as far as I have plans for, is definitely going to be a township. I drew it out. I'm thinking we're going to draw a few more farms in here, get a forestry industry there, and then these 2 will merge around that. This is going to be about 2 tiles out from our current border. But that will be where they wind up merging in the end. And, of course, lead out to the end of the map there, just like Madison over there. But with that out of the way, I think let's get into a few of the things that I had planned for this stream. And we're going to keep it paused just because right now the city's hemorrhaging money. I don't know anything about that. So the first thing we're going to start off with is... Oh, there it is. We've got a bit of a death care problem. Now, yes, I know we could... We've got the points. We can come in here, get the crematorium, and be done with it. But I haven't had my fun. I haven't had my fun with the cemeteries yet. I'm not done with them yet. So, at the moment, we just have Lakeview Cemetery, which, when I'm done today, after stream, probably going to set this up like I have a lot of the other things, whereby they have their operating districts. That, yeah, I actually did that off stream, like, between the last few streams. But right now, what we're going to focus on is Livland Junction Cemetery. Which, okay, for a town of this size, probably going to be a bit on the large side, give or take. Really, I might make the argument that realistically they might have, 2 or 3 small cemeteries, like cemetery up here, cemetery down here. But in thinking about expansion, I don't think it's too crazy to put in a large one, because we're probably going to expand them a lot to the north soon. Yeah, I think that's the west. I don't know. But anyways, so I did a lot of pre-planning for this, and I think my plan was we go about 3 up from here. And this will get it almost perfectly up against the railroad on the back. And then I completely forgot how many I'm supposed to go out to get this to work. So let's turn off road guidelines, because those always cause problems, no matter which version of cities you're playing. And let's plop it right there. And then we're gonna just get those we're gonna get those service districts out. Oh, of course, for those of you who might have noticed, I did expand Millersborg Township a bit to cover our forestry area. That's a bit more to do with when I put Diamond Run here, I had to take it out of Junction Township. And obviously, whilst we could annex these, that's not the spirit of what we're doing here. So, now we have a 4th development that's going to eventually go in at some point. But anyways, we've got this in. We could put in the mausoleum, and it fits surprisingly well. Sadly, the temples won't fit, and I'm vaguely annoyed to have found out you actually can't put the mausoleum on the front, because this asset actually has 3 sections that need road access. This path right here, this center one right here, and then this third one right here. Yeah. Anyways, so I think I'm drawing a straight line up there. Draw that down there, and then go through just to make sure it works. No, I don't want that. No, I don't want that. B is right there. Perfect. And then we're actually not going to build anything out in front of here. That way you just have that view of the cemetery. Actually, if anything, what we're actually going to do is come in here, expand Main Street as best as we... Oh, criminy. I knew this would happen. I don't know why I'm trying to deny it. Hello? Hello? Wunderbar. Sorry, keeping V instead of B. And I just need to get rid of these power lines real quick. What the hell is with this angle snap? No, it's still like... What are you... No, I... What are you trying to snap through? Oh, wait, I do want that. Why is this a problem? Don't question the game. Don't question the game. Oh, I almost forgot I kept that road in. So let's restore this power line real quick. Okay. And then let's also just shoot. This power line across like so. Because I just like keeping this little row of power lines in. Next question. No, okay, so I never did run them through Livland Junction. Okay. It was a thought. I thought about it. I just never went through with it. So, okay. We've got the cemetery in. Next up, there's no major... Oh, I do know one thing I forgot. And it's going to be something very important for our economics. We are just going to slap power producing upgrades on these wind turbines, even though realistically I don't plan to keep them. With our current planning, I won't be able to afford putting in the geothermal plant yet, and looking at it a bit, it's going to be overkill. So what we're going to do is, for now, just plop in these advanced rotor systems. These will actually increase... These will increase our electrical production by about half for the cost of about a third of a new wind turbine. So we just increased capacity by about 7.5 megawatts, which will probably update. Okay. It's going to need to update, but the last I looked at it, it was saying we had 13.6 kilowatts remaining, which, yeah, we got a bit of a problem when our city is turning a negative on our electrical production the moment somebody decides to do a donathon. Or just plug in their streaming PC in general. So, yeah. That's out of the way now. Next up, and I'm sorry we're working in dark mode here, so people won't be able to enjoy it nearly as much. That's later. That's in the future. We're gonna plop down some coal mines. And I'm just gonna plop down 3 of them. Something I actually am liking about Cities 2 is, and it might just be how slow the game is running a bit, but I decide after planning these out, I decided to just run a check real quick, see how fast the resources drain compared to Cities 1. And whilst the numbers are a bit wonky, it will say, like, 13.3 tons is what we're utilizing. It actually doesn't decrease by that much. It decreases by maybe a fraction of it. But anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to plop down these coal mines. Oh, this one's loving me. And, as I point out, we will use the paths. Oops. We'll use the paths to draw out our area. Now, I do have a few problems with the way in which I've drawn this out, most of which just has to do with drawing out some brush to that works for me. And we gotta draw that again. But anyways, drawing some brush just to, you know, remove it from the surrounding area. So let's just draw this out and hope it doesn't vanish on me again. Because if it does, I'm going to be annoyed somewhat. Okay, here's what I'm thinking. Stretch that out a bit. We're gonna have to delete these paths, which I think, yep. Cool. Then we can't do that. Okay. Just move the parking lot for a split second. Like alleyway like that. Delete both of those. Bring back the parking lot. Perfect. Come into here. Nip that at the buds. 90-90. Perfect. And then we're actually going to bring that one back into service now that we have this mine right here. At some point we're going to want to name and upgrade Franklin right here so that, well, Franklin and Nickel Road right here. We're going to want to upgrade those just to handle the fact that they are going to be of major use. Next one, over here. Oh, actually, we'll go for this one first. Now, knowing that the parking lot's already right there, let's just, let's keep that for now. But let's draw in our next mine, which actually is going to still need some adjustments. I tried getting some more curved segments on this one. It just didn't work for me in the end. So like we have right here, which, okay, at the moment just ends because we're going to run into the boundary of the plots we own. I probably could have bought this one just so that we could expand that, but we'll focus on that later. Okay. Let's come back in here to edit these real quick so that we can get some nice 90-90s on there. Just that so it's a nice 90. And oh, I remember now. Perfect. Alright. Bulldozer. All the way up there. Just get rid of those paths. And it's right there. Alright. Now we've just got one more to place. You know those moments where you stare at something you did, feel like you might have done something wrong? I'm trying to figure that one out right now. It might just be I was planning on doing something a bit different. And I wholeheartedly believe that. So you know what? I say we go for it. Let's do something different from what we've done with our last few. I mean, yes. All of these, you know, you've got a parking lot right by the main building. But that's besides the point. The point of which is I don't know what we're going to do right there because we definitely can't place housing right there until these mines have been depleted. Alright, let's do that. And this one is going to be a bit more drawn out just because it happens to be around this border right here where there's nothing right there. And we do have a curve right here. I may have forgotten about a road right there. Oh, actually, you know what? What we want to do is finish that off real quick. And then we'll do something like that. That way, we can come in here with our alleyway, create our disposable road, and then adjust. I said adjust. So we can draw the road right there, except we don't want that right there. So let's draw that out a bit so that we can plop in this corner real quick. Draw that out, and voila. And let's bring out our old bulldozing friend, and like that, it's taken care of. And let's not forget to activate the parking lots, because when people come into work, they're going to need somewhere to park. And preferably not where their cars are going to get... Nah, who am I kidding? You'll see in a minute, their cars will definitely get covered in dust by the rock crusher. So, yeah, that's a lot of the basic stuff that I plan to get in at the start of stream. So the next part is going to be where we take the game out of pause, go immediately into our expansion and building out Millersborg and the Riverside Highway. First things first, we're gonna, oops, sorry, I wanted the expansion permits, which I can hardly tell from here. It's these three. We'll get rid of that one for now, because this will leave us with 3, and 3 doesn't get us to taking care of that at the moment. So we're definitely going to deal with questioning ourselves on what comes next. But as I mentioned, first things first, it's the Riverside Highway and the small town of Millersborg. And as you can see, this now leaves us with about 500,000. Yeah, so let's just hit play on that, and let's go into our highways. So this is actually going to be an annoying thing to look at, but the idea is we're going to take a segment along here, and then somehow this is actually going to go through Millersborg, with a small segment of Millersborg being dedicated to, or at least an offshoot road going in the southern part, being the old Riverside Highway. But right now, I think we'll take the inland section that just went through Lakeview, and let's plan this one out accordingly. So we do that. Nope, sorry. No, one more. Yeah, something like that. I don't know why I just did that. Let's actually borrow a length right there just because I feel like that turn was a bit too tight. Use our turn tool, draw it in there. Suddenly people can go that way or that way. And then let's take our one. Let's take our highway ramp. And 180. Oh. I made an oopsie. Before we do that, let's upgrade all of this section to a three-way. Because what this is going to do is come in here like so. Let's do something like that. And that way, you have this nice merging lane. So we don't exactly have the same yield situation. What comes next? Next is making sure that people don't use that lane wrong. And like that, this segment is actually complete. So we're going to come back over here and connect these next two segments. Let's draw that out a good bit. And actually, I think this might be a good turn. Let's just make sure that this still has its name. Hello? I hate working in dark mode. Alright. So we still have the South River Highway and the inland South River Highway. I'll rename that sometime in the future. And it all ends right here in this forested area. Because what we need to do now, well, not something we need to do, but something I will do is drop in something right there so we can expand the township. And so the big reason I'm dropping a new node in there is because if I adjust this one, it's actually gonna play with both of them. It's kind of annoying and troublesome when you're, say, trying to clear out an area within a large district to create a smaller district. I think there's also a bit of annoyance if, per se, you're trying to build a district within a district. Immediately what comes to mind is the fact that we're building zoning out townships right now. Oh, hold on. Please state the nature of your sewage emergency. Look, it's not our fault somebody just clogged your toilet. Actually, hold on. When you're saying you're going, what's the most I'd see remark? Well, it works on my machine. Okay, new plan. Bulbadosh. Bulbadosh. Bulbados. A Bulbados. A Bulbados. Bulbados. Hold on. Oh, this is the other thing I get annoyed with this game sometimes about. What about now? Yeah, because the game definitely is not hitting us with a, oh yeah, so there's a bit of a sewage capacity on your lines there, because as we can see, they're doing fine. Unless the game is legitimately telling me that, oh yeah, but your sewage lines are a bit overfilled there. Might want to diversify there a bit, bud. Oh, that's connected. All of this is connected. So I think we have just found another use for the South River Highway. Let the water mains begin. I totally didn't overshoot, so I could get a straight line. Oh, for crimity's sake. Anywho, South River Highway. Right. Something like that. Bulldoze you. Then, you know, I planned it out, and then I did this and realized I needed a new plan. How are we going to plan this out, is the question. I think my main argument has definitely been, and I can't see for crap. Like, seriously, this entire bank is impossible to see, even on stream. Also, I currently have the curve tool on when we're drawing straightaways. Okay, so let's just go. Let's say draw it right here. I'm gonna draw a long straightaway, which is never known to be problematic in highway design or any type of roadway design whatsoever. Whole kilometer. Think about that. If you drive 1 kilometer per hour, it will take you 1 hour to get there. Which means if you drive 60 kilometers per hour, it'll probably take you a minute. We are not doing the math on that one. Okay, so let's just draw that up to there. Okay. Do we do a straightaway? I think we draw a straightaway. I want to keep this organized like so. And let's figure out where we meet up. We're going to meet up with you right about there at 573 meters. So I'm thinking maybe back out. Let's go back there. And let's draw you, my friend, as soon as I find you. Curve road tool. Find the place where these two meet. And actually, let's go back a bit. Just to make that nice, beautiful curve. Page up, because we're not currently working on... Oh, son of a... Oh, hallelujah. I was worried we were about to lose the road name. I'd have to rename it. Okay. So we've got that. Let's begin running. Well, okay. Let's not run our water mains yet. Because what we're thinking now is we need to upgrade these. Let's focus on centering these out a bit. Yeah, so something like... Yeah, something like that. Let's run that down there for a connection, and then we're going to run these roads as another connection. So let's take our alleyway and begin to draw you out, which is going to be immediately problematic for me. So let's maybe make sure we can invest a bit in diversity. Hey, it was my fault your house was in the way. Curved road tool, let's go. Hello? If at first you don't succeed, just hope it works. So we got that. Then we'll have to work at fitting that in at some point, but right now, let's confirm that we missed the mark. There. All of you are connected. So, why don't we hit play and see if certain people can sort out their problems? I mean, we're not really seeing this even being used yet. Are we even going to see water and sewage go down this? Oh, there it goes. Yep, so we can see a small amount there. But, I mean, yeah, Junction Highway is still carrying a lot. At some point, I will draw in so that we're, you know, following that. But, let's get to our new town. Except, before we do that, let's finish what we started. I almost forgot about this. Hello? You two aren't connected. Why aren't you two connected? That should do it. What? 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 Hello? Why are you complaining about overlapping something? So... Right, let's follow the river like so. And then... let's also make sure that the river... Oh, hold on. Is following like so. So we want to that note down a bit. Do our... oh, hold on. Do our sort of aforementioned meeting. Let's just use that. Round 2. You're throwing a fit again. Can you just not? Ay, ay, ay. Wait. Oh. The ghost is right there. Okay. That was most definitely a thing. Side note, we literally just started lagging. Should I... Oh! Okay, okay, so it's not traveling down this way anymore, which means... Actually, we probably don't need to worry much right now about overloading our power lines, which is good. We're still at 0.5, mind. Yeah. We're like, can we speed through this? Okay. So let's come back into here and begin dropping in a few bits and bobs. Let's assume we're going to have some commercial right there. Another thing we're going to not want to forget, but might cost us, is getting some services in. Yeah. Yeah. But I think let's just plop in a firehouse, plop in a police station, and that will do us good. Sadly, can't place it right there, but let's... Okay, let's turn off snap to the side of the road. Let's see if we can get it just the way we like it. By we, I mean me. Something like that. How's that look? Oh, this is one of those moments where you want Nope, nope, nope. Okay, I didn't see it doing that for a minute. So we've got police station. That's great. Let's keep going with our zoning. Putting in a few bits and bobs right there. And considering how we're in the more of a town area, I might increase density a bit. Let's do another 4x4 shop there. Let's pull in a whole 6 deep there. And that might be the height at which we do... Oops, let's not do curve road tool. Let's go straight away. Let's begin plopping down some housing. Now, here's the thing, is we just plopped down American style, but I've been using European assets out here a bit, so as much as I want to sort of do something, we've got to do these houses. Let's do another 5 deep though on that one. Do 3 deep on that one. Let's plop this to be... So we're not really doing a whole lot right now. So let's just stick to, it's a small area, there's not that much density. I'm sorry, but I love putting 4x4s here. It's so much fun. And got a 3x there. And it does strike me I might want to get rid of that one. Crud. We might be demolishing a house. Let's see. So we still have a 22.5 megawatt surplus, and like that, it's daytime. Oh, let's go back to speed 1, and let's actually just look at a lot of the work we've done. So we've got the South River Highway right here, which basically the segment up here will be called the North River Highway. It's just a designation based off the lake. We do have a good few stutters going on right now. Ooh! Yeah, and every time there's a stutter, it looks like my CPU is sitting about 75%. That's interesting. But no drop frames, which is wonderful. Anyway, so South River, we've got that junction right there, whereby anybody coming up this way can hit a straightaway. You are going to have to merge on, though, but, you know, that's what it is. Actually, let's just call it that. Because SR, you know, doesn't sound for anything else other than, you know, South River, right? Right? We won't add an SR, I don't know, 2, 3 there. Oh, this is another thing I wasn't thinking about when... Oh, it was light out. We need to draw on a few intersections. I think our last one will be right here. Let me just draw that out straight first. And like that. Let's real quick just put into pause so that we can enjoy the daylight. I am definitely dropping below 60 FPS in game though right now. Let's just draw that out to the end of the road. We'll probably just cut that off so I don't have to deal with that. Do that like that. Follow this one down like so. And then connect these two. Let's just rename this one because now we're once more back into the South River Highway. Right, sorry. Bulldozing that excess so that I don't have to deal with that. Speaking of not wanting to deal with these, popping in some power lines because that's a bit of detail I'm going to do off stream. I ran some tests on these, and some of these houses don't like having power lines in front of them. Actually, this entire segment, I don't think did. So let's go back to that one. You! I mean, this side, okay, but I like how I'm doing this off stream, and then I'm just doing this on stream. Like, yes, this is our rural area, ergo, power lines. Now, this I think I had to do the outer curve because reasons. So maybe, let's real quick see if I can actually draw that power line onto that corner there. And we are not deleting any houses, right? Right. Let's go. Except I'm gonna jump back on this one for a split second. That looks better. Anyways, like I said, those are going to be bits of details I definitely do off stream. Well, I guess if we already have a few houses together like that, might as well. But we're going to let those two go out. Actually, let's just let that go out in general. Let's just have that, like, small area of density, I guess. And then, next thing we said we were going to do is... And we're actually going to go for the 2-lane road on this one, even though I originally drew it out as an alleyway when I was trying it, is... Something like that. Going in like that. Then I'm going to want to think about it right here. But let's just draw it straight. And let's get our curve tool going. Turn road guidelines back on so we can work with those to make sure we're getting this just right. That one is going to need complex curve. This one is going to require me to come out like so. That's another complex curve. So let's break out our complex curve tool. Bit bendy right there, but you know. Let's make sure we're constantly holding down shift. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take this one back. Let's give it a much nicer curve. And then, what we'll probably do is begin expanding it out like in a bit. Now it does strike me we're gonna want to think about this because really our old town would be down here instead of up might be down here instead of up there. Or even then this is the sort of bypass, maybe. A lot of questions for that one. But yeah, so we're going to have this stub end right here whereby it just dead ends because it originally would have connected to the highway up here. But we'll definitely build a connector road. So let's go about 4 out there and build a nice curve like that. And that's connected. We have this nice, wonderful forested area here, so that might cause a bit of a question. Though the other question I'm thinking about is, you know, drawing a connector road right here, what exactly are the odds I wind up going a bit overboard and trying to build a whole development down here? Let's grab our dear friend the alleyway, and let's, at the very least, just make that connector road I was just talking about. Let's build another one, like, right along here. So that seems like a good spot to have one. This way, that road is still very much usable while we're planning it out. Speaking of planning... Oh, they don't line up. Do these line up? They do. But we're going to drop our dear friend Mr. Paws in again. Because I have realized we've got some expanding to do. So let's take our dear friend Mr. Pathway and begin drawing a bit. Okay. out from here. Draw to there. I don't actually need to expand that one though. There's no grid to work with, so let's do something like that, and then that one can fit into there. So, with our expansion out of the way, let's pretend we're not thinking about this guy also needing to grow. Let's grab our industry area, draw down to that corner. Realize I did make one small mistake. There we go. There we go. Got that going. This all fits into this farm's grid, but that one is currently neighboring the road a bit, which I don't like. So we're going to want to adjust that in a minute. Let's do that. Drop this one in there. And just drop that in for the 90. Next up, we're going to adjust you to get our 90s. Then, you, on the other hand, don't work out the way I want you to, which is fine. So we've got that up there. This one, though, can take advantage of a lot of that area, so we might expand that one out a bit. But let's get rid of our guidelines. Yeah, man. Oh, I gotcha. Do that. Get rid of you, because we're not gonna expand you now. Woo, mailboxes. Did I put a post office there? I don't know. Let's grab... Oop. Let's grab you, Grind Rock. Let's bring back our dear friend, Mr. Pathway. Turn on Natural Resource Map. And double check where I'm supposed to draw the line on your border. In comparison. Well, thanks, mate. So we're saying right about there, so let's stick our finger on the screen. Draw a line out to somewhere around there. Draw. Turn on resource map. Oh, actually, that is almost perfect. Hopefully, I can go out this curmudgeon more, though. That way, we can get the heart of it. From right here, let's draw a straight line. Yeah, I think road guidelines, so I can get that. And like that. Now we're ready to expand this mine again. Let's grab this node, draw it right there, create a new node going to there, and expand this node all the way out there, perfectly within the boundaries. And that makes this a really big boy. Now, whilst yes, I could expand this one, I'm probably not going to. We're going to take advantage of the area in here at some point to do something. I don't know what yet, because as you can tell, it's in a bit of a rough spot. It ain't gonna be housing, I can tell you that much. But surprisingly enough, this housing does work. And oh, you know what? Hold on. I'm sorry. I talked about us viewing everything in... I talked about us viewing everything in the light. So let's just look at that stuff I did between streams first off. Now you can get a really good view of grain view. Obviously not entirely completed. I'm gonna finish these off because... Uh-oh. Nothing to see there. Oh. I did 2 buys. All these are Zone North American, right? All these are Zone North American, so I don't know why I was having... Anything else where it did that? No, okay. So we're gonna investigate that later. But obviously I need to redo those because those weren't zoned in when I was doing all the detailing. But I figured out they actually work because even though you can see not exactly the least asthmatic place in the city. Still livable. Hey, nobody's gonna get sued because they got asthma. They're the ones that chose to live there. Just because I knew it might cause asthma doesn't mean I'm responsible. And, actually, thing I didn't think about, one, get rid of that path now because that's plopped in. I'll probably plop in some trees here. No, that's the oak. And also, these people came with... I'm living with that. I'm living with that on this side of things, but you can see the houses that got zoned in for Railroad Street. I'm gonna have to look at how I'm doing this segment here because I was actually thinking about plopping in a rail yard. Not this type of rail yard, the rail depot, the freight yard, as an expansion, and then we kind of just have a lot of trains coming down here to feed into it, and then from there going out to the other cities. Because in some ways that is actually something that would be happening. Is you would have, especially just the way that this is, without any sort of larger yard up in the city, you'd have them feeding down here into the Madison yard, whereby they would get sorted out, get sent out to either a larger yard or their destination. But yeah, so here's the park. Here's the other park. Now we can see some houses came in along with our little commercial shop. Something and all. Another something and all. It's a convenience food store. So basically, hot summer day that it is not right now. Go to the pool. Get out. Go over to something and all. Get something and all. I mean some ice cream. Walk back to your car and go back to your wonderful home on the north side of Lakeview. I'm trying to find a house where this guy lives. Let's say he lives somewhere here, where he looks out on the lake. But he of course goes down to one of the only swimming pools in the city, in the region. The one in Livland Junction. I'm sorry, I had to look over the assets because I'm 90% certain there are actually ones with swimming pools. Wait, what the heck are you doing with the stage? Like, you could have convinced me that was a covered swimming pool. Anyways, let's jump back into doing our work in Millersborg. Which actually, I am still a bit on the fence about plopping in some, just a few row homes in this more downtown area, just to give it that vibe. Something I really want to make the remark of to... Oh, sorry, that's Unique Buildings. Something I want to make the remark of that I hope Colossal does in the future. Just maybe having something so that we can do that small town. Obviously that's an asset I'm going to look for in the mods, but because I tried doing the mixed housing, which is first floor commercial, second, third, and fourth floor are all residential. And what I wound up putting together was it's you do the North American mixed on a corner and then have European row homes. That, in my opinion, was what looked the best. With the North American, there was way too much of an offset in the front yard. But I mean, in general, the difference of how tall the North American row homes get compared to, like, the smallest, which is a 2x2 for the mixed, it didn't work out for me. It wasn't my cup of tea. So, I mean, I kind of just hope that they can give us something whereby we can have some sort of an old town going on. But I don't know. In the future. Hopefully. Let's do this. Let's actually remember that we're working with this, which it's not snapping to. Is it not snapping? Okay, let's use our alt. Hello? Oh, it might have been because I used that. So let's just do something like that. Just draw this out of sizable chunk, maybe? Let's see if I can snap the road to that. Yeah. Okay. Get rid of the pathway we just worked with. Obviously, we're not going to use the full 6x because I want to leave 2 to put in some brush. Actually, you know what? Because I was proposing putting in a... So now we've found who's losing their house. I hate to say that part. But if it makes them feel better, I can fix it. So we've got this going at that angle. Let's go a few more out on that one. Let's turn our road guidelines back on so that we can do this curve. So and then I'm thinking we need to enforce some level of safety. So let's maybe not have that at a terrible angle. And now we have just created some more zoning. So let's go back to putting that on play. Let's do 2x5, 2x6, 3x2. Going like that. Just have a small house right there. Another deep one like that. Let's use the hole on that one. Go forward there. Let's actually just get rid of that small house. Do another 3x2 there. Too deep on that one. Pretty deep over there. What the? So that was a thing. And then let's just do a real... Oh, for crime's sake, mate. Thank you. I will keep going. There we go. At this rate, we're gonna get it. At this rate, we're getting that achievement. Oh, yeah. We're 30 off. And the game is surprisingly laggy. But no drop frames yet. Alright, so that one's still waiting to die out. Let's go for a 4x3 there. 3x6. Let's go. Let's put a 3x3 there. Let's put a 2x6 in there. Alright, so we got another one like that. Wanna go full? Yeah, let's go full that. Looks like this corner isn't being used. Why is that not being used? Oh, for crime's sake, mate. Okay, here's what we do. What? Eh, it works for me. Eh, works for me. Let's just... Nope. Round two. There we go. Bulldoze 1,000 buildings. Why? Because you got angry with the game. Okay, you know what? We're keeping it like that. I don't know what the game's problem is, but we're just going to keep that one like that. Then... Do we keep plopping shops down? I don't know if I want to keep plopping shops down. I mean, I get... Yeah, you know what? We've sort of built away from our... Actually, you know what? Let's see what our population is in this. So we are up to 223 residents, which is more than Forester Park and twice as much as Grandview. Not nearly as much as Livland Junction, but of course that is a... This is going to be a larger sort of development than over here. Oh, for crying out loud! Do I have to drop like a godforsaken hat? Nope, that doesn't work. You know what? Fine. Nobody lives there. Let's see. Okay, yeah, so this is a right angle, so you know what? Let's just focus on getting some smaller homes along here. Okay, so that one actually doesn't break off of there. So let's maybe just do a thing. That works for me. Now we just wait for when the game complains that, oh, you know, we can't have people zoned right there. It's problematic, mate. Speaking of problematic, I'm thinking about putting a path. That, I think I'll do that off camera. But yeah, like, I'm annoyed that doesn't work because it's creating a problem right here. And that problem is it creates a really big gap. Anyways, before we forget, let's also make sure that you have your operating districts. Which is literally just right here. So I think what we're going to do is furthermore expand this out to the intersection right here. Because what we're definitely doing is building up so that this sort of blends in right there. Oh, we just watched a farm level up. That's fun. Interesting. This was basically all that was left for this stream, is just building out this city. I mean, small town. I know where I am on the map. Okay, let's get rid of grid and road guidelines from it. And I think let's do something like that. We'll turn our road guidelines back on so that we can get that curve just right. And yeah. And I think what we'll do just to add in a bit is replace that bit with a highway. And just to confirm, still the South River Highway. We'll call this one Old Way. And then I had an interesting when I was planning this one out, naming roads. Had a fun one for this one. Yep. Instead of doing Main Street here, which we have in Livland Junction and in Lakeview, we've got Miller Street. Because it's Millersborg, of course. Probably gonna come up with some names for the rest of these roads at some point. I don't know yet. Hey, the Rock Crusher finally showed up. I was surprised we weren't dealing with this for a bit. And if you look, these guys are definitely getting their cars covered. Oh. That is reminding me of something, but I think we're gonna finish up Millersborg first, and then we're gonna address the other thing. So let's go about dropping in some 2x3s along this way. We can do a couple 2x2s as well. Oh, for Pete's sake. Okay, I might have. Might have had a small problem thinking this through, and it was that I'm supposed to be leaving some space there. Oopsies. Another 2x3 there. Let's do a 4x3, which is probably, yeah, there's going to be a couple of houses like that. But I would definitely argue this is a nice small town. Let's actually look at what it says about commercial suitability. So it has good commercial suitability, but, you know, customer base, not nearly as good. I think we'll build about just a couple more, and then we're gonna space all this out with some housing. For anyone wondering why I'm doing 3 buys, it's because 4 buys are unreliable at spawning, which, you know, look right there. You see what I mean? Look how much we're demolishing just to get that. We'll just let the 2 houses live together because they are clearly out to annoy me. Let's draw a pathway in there. I'll draw some small houses in here. Again, let's turn off side of the building there. That way we can get the pathway in there, except for the fact that I do want to make sure we are zoning appropriately for this small building. That is a good point. And, oh, right, no, you're supposed to be throwing a fit. You are a mistake. Alright, yeah, and so we need to figure out how all of this is going to blend together. I'm kind of split here because I do like this forest being there. But, you know, gotta do what we gotta do. And suddenly this is transformed from being small town to town. Told you I'd figure out a way to go overboard. So I think... Nope. Right here. Let's do one more. Okay, like that? Yeah. Do something like that. And then let's do complex curve. So we go up 2. Go out in front of this. 1. I like to say 1, 2-ish. And then we get something like that. I don't think that works the way I want it to. No, I agree with you. Let's grab a gravel road. Okay. Complex, up by 2. Let's actually do that one. You know, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if I'm feeling it. Feel that. Nope, definitely not that one. 2, 3. I mean, I feel like it works better. But I also feel like I just don't like it. I feel like you don't like anything. That was besides the point, good sir. Let's begin plopping in some houses like so. Some wonderful 3x3s. Ooh. Yeah. I like that. The heck? So the zoning merged together. These houses are just going to agree to exist. in their current state, which I'm totally down with. But my God, is that beautiful. Do I want to do another 3x3 on the corner? Not really. Though at that same time, we have created some density, so... Why stop something you've already started? Good point, good point. And then let's do quaint little 3x3 on the corner because they're fun. And another one like that. Now what's everybody think? Yes, we've got a slight bit of density in what was originally planned to be a bit of a small town, but meh. You know what? I don't know if I agree with that space. Here's the random taxi just driving through. Road maintenance driving through. At the only speed they're capable of driving, mind you. I think this is actually Millersborg. Yeah. Isn't it supposed to be like Millersborg? Yeah. So let's rename that. I feel like it's just... There's definitely an element now of looking at these two farms and wondering, like, these are two properties that sort of just exist here because they haven't been sold yet. So you've got like areas right here whereby just the development has reached out and grabbed this expanded Millersborg. And I feel like the time is definitely going to come whereby we adjust the township to sort of integrate it into its own town. But I don't think that's just yet. I do think we're gonna do some stuff there. Let's get a little 3x3. Let's pop some quaint little housing in here like so. Bulldoze these because now we got that housing there. Draw these out. Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, it's like the 4x4s aren't reliable, but these larger ones have a tendency to be a bit more on the reliable side. I think we need to turn that back on so that we can come back through here. By the way, are there any contours I should be thinking about? Not, well, I mean, to an extent, just because of how close we get to the river, but, you know, cross that bridge when we get there. And once more, we are realistically introducing density to a place I didn't want to put density. That was fun. so let's just keep introducing some homes along here. I should have swiped that one out. Our 3x3 corner lots. Leave that one be for now. Draw a path right there so that we can move that. Let's do one more. If I can do that one. What did I say? 3x3? No, because we're going to draw the path again on this side. Ah, I see. Yes. So we do a couple 3x4s. Oh, cool. Indeed. And we got 3x3 right there. And maybe we go for a larger lot right there. Interesting. Indeed. By the way, how's our power production going right now? Only 2.5 megawatt surplus, sir. And we are exporting. Yeah, I feel like this one is definitely more hitting a scattered out rural vibe than when I tried Livland Junction. So that's actually kind of fun. I do think we're going to need to expand Miller Street again, though. Because, yeah. I'm just saying, it's reaching out there now. It really is reaching out there. Though maybe let's keep improving the riverfront properties. Okay, so that one's coming at us too, and honestly, I'm not going to concern myself with it. This one, though, I'm going to draw a line right there. Let me draw the line right there. And there. That way. Drop one in there, like so. And let's maybe... Let's do that. Fine, I'll grant you an extra one right there. That way I can do that. This totally won't come back to bite us like it did a minute ago. You know what? Now the gears in my brain are turning. And boy, howdy are they turning. Oh yeah. It's all come together. Yeah, so I mean, you can kind of see, it's not, it's sort of gritty, but it's not a full grid. We can see this corner, so we're not going to get a corner lot there. I might upgrade this, though, just to see if we can get a corner lot, because we're a bit of a ways away, so there might... We might justify, say, a corner store around here. But let's see how much traffic we're even seeing down here. So really right now, the traffic isn't that high. Which means if we come back over to the Junction Highway, still not that much traffic, really. Kind of leaves you wondering where all the traffic's going. If, like, at least half of our city, half of our population right now, lives down here. Really makes you wonder. Anyway, so let's go back to plopping in some commercial. Let's plop it back into North American style because it's a rural community. Pop in a corner store right there. Still a bit in town at the moment. So let's do a store right there. Somebody's house is going to be right there. And let's just keep up our zoning spree. 3x3 corner lot, because now we have access to that corner lot. Actually, could fit something in there. I think 2 by there, and yeah. Going good so far. Of course, we're enforcing a nice amount of zoning diversity, but yep, gonna want to get rid of that. That way we're making full use of these properties. Probably would have helped had I adjusted that first. Then, no, I can't. Crud. Okay, so we'll do something like that then. Now again, yes, there is a decent amount of density going on over here. Wow, 300, so now we're at 366, half the size of Livland Junction. So much for small. So much for small. Path on there like so. Let's go full 9 yards. And yeah, I don't know if we're going to keep this open. Again, the field just... not the field. The forest feels so debatable. Like, you know what? Maybe this is just a forest that exists. Yes, the ambulance. Which has to come from our dear friends over at the Livland Clinic in Livland Junction, because we don't have a clinic in town. That might be... Honestly, you know what? With the size right here, that might be something to consider further down the line. Yeah, so let's just keep going, plotting in a bunch of larger lots. I don't know why, I'm just not feeling that like that. And it won't yep. Okie doke. That's fine by me. You do you, game. But I think right now we might just draw the line down here. So let's just keep on keeping on with our lots. You know what? Since this is the more rural part of the old way, let's just spruce it up with some nice large lots. Since a lot of these people would be living here before the alignment really went up here, perhaps. Or maybe even then it sort of always did. It was just when they made Millersborg, they converted this old way into a development area. I don't know why I called it a development area. But yeah, so now we've added in Millersborg. Obviously, as I mentioned, there's some work to do in this center that I'm going to want to think about to an extent. But, you know, that day just isn't today. And I'm actually vaguely upset because we're not set to the new level yet. We can do, though, is, at the very least, look at what we're doing over here. Because obviously, Lakeview Junction just hasn't been developed yet. It was supposed to get there, but now we've just sort of been stuck in Livland Junction. And today, it was Millersborg. Now, granted, on the other hand, I am being guilty. I'm trying to keep all these city streams down to about 2 hours. So, gonna want to consider that too. Let me double check these farms real quick. Because I am still... Yeah, you know what? Here's what we're gonna do. Let's just expand that one out to enjoy some more fertile land. And this one is just going to be up there. We won't... Instead, we won't use this segment, and we might just develop that with housing or something in the future. Actually, what we could do, and I wasn't really thinking about this for a while, is we could plop in the dairy house. We have been sitting on this for a while, and, you know, with this being our farming heavy area, perhaps this is the building to plop. It's not supposed to produce too much pollution, and since we're already on the far side of Millersborg, it's definitely an option. So you know what? Planning about north of the street. Let's bring in an alleyway. Oh. Now I know why. Now I see why we're having a problem. Let's just drop that down there. Got parking lot right there. Need to connect up the parking lot right there, which is fine. And what we're actually going to do is drag this down here. And then, just real quick, sorry, I can never seem to hit B. Is really connected in with that curve. And then we realize we've got a small problem, which will moreover be solved by just expanding our main street. Which is fine, because guess what else we're expanding? This road right here. So, I don't think we're going to stub out the... But we'll at least allow it to do something like that. You know what? Drop one right there. Great, like so. Fail to hit the bulldoze shortcut. Ah! Darn it, game. There we go. Much better. And now I don't have to worry about running any sort of connectors. What I will do as well, though, is probably upgrade this road. Let's do something similar to what we did earlier. Oh, no, you didn't. It did because I did. Okay, hold on. Millersborg Road Highway. No, we don't want the highway. Oops. Okay, so we come back here. Still the same over there. So let's just keep that one. This is Dairy Street. Fairy World? Dairy World. I would never. Oh, and because we did that, it also... Luckily, this is definitely the highest extent we are going to take Millersborg. I think with that, for now, let's first make sure that they get their power. They do! Hooray! Still empty, it's going to take a bit, but... I think the next thing that's hitting me, and it will be something I probably do off camera, is figuring out what type of park we're going to give Millersborg, because... Yeah, that's something else that's missing. Is they probably... Well, I mean, they probably inherit, like, a lot of... You can see... Leisure? Terrible up here. Wonderful down here. Partially because I put in so many parks. Maybe even we can make an argument that, you know... Elementary school, perhaps? I mean, obviously, our elementary schools do have a lot of capacity that aren't being used. Like, for example, the one in Livland Junction is, at present, serving all of these communities. And it's got maybe 75 kids. Which, in comparison, Lakeview has a population of 3,500. And its elementary school is like half full. The high school is barely full. And you kind of get hit with the whole... This whole area is about half the population of Lakeview. Also, geez Louise! This just feels weird. Like, it doesn't give you a square footage, but 413 with 63 pets compared to 521 with 88 pets. 310 households. Yeah, the number of households is catching up. Like, Livland Junction is going to need to grow now because suddenly it's just not holding a candle to Millersborg. Wow. And like, we're still growing it out a bit. Which, by the way, while that's there, let's real quick take a look at our pollution map modes. So we can see that it is committing air pollution and ground pollution. Obviously, it hasn't really done anything yet. What does it do? It's still empty. Right. That would make sense. We've got these right here. Haven't really started polluting too much in the way of the air yet. Their ground pollution's a thing, but, you know, this one doesn't exactly matter. It's it's huge. Absolutely huge. Nearly makes up the whole circle. But definitely off camera, gonna do some detail work just to make sure that it's less visible. You know, we have 3 tiles left. I could begin working on River Township a bit and bringing in the couple farms that I had planned, the forestry area. But heck, we have this right here, but I'm gonna off camera figure out how we're doing the mining areas here, which means that this road is gonna connect up to the South River Highway. That's gonna be something I do off camera. So a decent bit of this area might be developed between streams. And then let's just figure out what we're ending this stream on. I think the obvious answer is let's take a look at the place we've been ignoring a bit. And I partially mentioned that because, oh look, we're actually making money, we're barely making money, and I'm about to make us lose money again. Okay, you know what? Let's expand this out. Because I was saying we're going to do a 6th and a 7th street. And I turned on road guidelines, which bit me in the butt. Now my primary idea is 7th is sort of where we see the end of this area. Oh, I went overboard on that segment. My bad. Let's just go into here, I think. So, I definitely had the idea of increasing this to 3x3s. Wait a minute. These were already 3x3s. Also, that should be a European 3x3. Okay. Yeah, no, so most of these are already 3x3. Oh, now I know why it was 3x3. Okay, so that one's using North American. Which immediately has me realizing I will check that off camera. Let's just get this area zoned in. Perfect. Yeah, so this one we're still going to get by the 2x. And there's not really anything I can do by that. Outside maybe putting the 2x in the middle. So I think that's what we do. Okay. We've got that going. So let's bring in our next new street. Should be up. Nope. The game really does drive me nuts sometimes. Nope, one more. Why are we having this problem, game? Why? Why are we now arguing over where the grid is? Why? There we go. See, was it that hard? Yes, apparently it is. So, what we're gonna do, what we want is to apparently put in a roundabout. No, not that. Give me a second. Okay, you know what? Get rid of grid. It's throwing a fit for some reason. Turn grid back on. There. That gets that working. Next question. Does this work? All that and more on the thrilling conclusion. But, nope, does work. Now we do get a 4x there. Yeah, that wasn't in the plans. You're telling me. So what I'm thinking is, oopsies. Do that. Not that. And we lose ourselves again. Except that happens. Stop snapping to grid. Perfect. Snap to grid again. Okay, actually, you're not going to want to work the way I want you to. So, we'll go down by one. Turn on road guidelines. Snap to... get that one going. And then what we can do is just have this go here. Turn off grid snapping again because I just want that sweet, sweet right angle. And then this has us not worry about what I was concerned with, which is that these sort of aren't connected. Real quick, let's come back in here. Let's keep naming you. And let's not name 7th Street yet because we can cause some problems. And actually, the fun part is, this comes down here, actually connects Main, which isn't where we started counting from. We actually started counting from the quarry because that's where this development grew out of. But speaking of that, I think you're... oh, for... okay, okay. That wasn't what I was concerned it would be. That's the upside. So then let's... new question. Start from the center. There's where I was having my problem before. Because I wasn't starting from the center point. Let's... are we going to create another... you know what? Yeah, let's create a small grid real quick. Ah, that didn't give me what I wanted. Fine. Okay, turn off road guidelines. Also, don't need grid snapping right now. Aha! See, game, we can't play by my rules, except for the fact we just lost some zoning. Hold on. Much better. I need my road guidelines back again. Much better. That. Let's go back to... let's do 4x4 there. Do 4x4 or house there. And begin zoning some housing. Because why not? Let's hit play on that. Alright. Come back in here and do that. Get that one done. Do a 3x3 there, except no, we don't. Oh. My blunder. Now we're growing out the population of Livland Junction again. Now the question is, do I keep this highway right here? And that is going to be a question of questions. Oh, almost forgot. 7th Street! I think, yeah. Could also begin zoning this out. Start American, because that's what's right there. And swap back over to European. Keep that road going. Obviously gonna need to do some sort of decoration here just to sort of divide these developments from our not so downtown area. Oh, that's when we did these upgrades, that looped back. Oopsies. I'll fix it off camera. Don't worry. We got this section. So let's pathway in there so we can get the 3x3. 3x3, 3x3. Whatever plops in there. Plop something in there. Try and see if I can get some zoning right there. Cool. Those paths. Sadly, we don't in the end, so you know what? Let's do some sporadic 3x3s. Okay, that path stays. As if we already lost the house. What house? We didn't lose a house. It's annoying when the game does stuff like that. I'm gonna be honest. You know what? Let's actually just have a path right there. Just drawing a sort of dividing line right here. One of these days, I'm gonna hit B correctly. While we're at it, let's also get this section building up. Because it's feeling weird that I don't have housing there. And then we just see our low row homes right there. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Compared to... much better. Now we're back up to a 300 advantage. But yeah, definitely going to want to think through how I'm doing this. Oh, we have a need for office space growing. That's actually good. But the bigger thing that's on my mind is something I've been ignoring most of the stream because, yeah, our funds have been fluctuating. But what's a problem more than our fluctuating funds is the lack of maintenance on our parks, which actually does have a negative effect on its attractiveness. So we definitely need a park maintenance building going in. And I figure, knowing full well that Livland Junction is where 90% of our parks are, we're going to put our first park maintenance depot somewhere in here. And part of me is thinking we'll do it by the railroad. So this is going to cost us 40k, which is 40k we need to figure out how to make up because funds have been lacking. But also, I've kind of felt just the debate of where exactly do we put. I mean, okay, probably would have made sense to have it right there, but we didn't. And part of my brain is telling me put it in downtown. Part of my brain is also telling me we can have better buildings right there. Won't fit in the junction. So I'm thinking we won't be able to put in some of its expansion buildings, which is like an extra. There's one external building which is a garage. But you know what? I think let's put it next to the post office. It's the place where it fits in the town that needs it most, and the post office doesn't like it. That's a shame. Yeah, so what we can do is we can increase the amount of supplies available so that the vehicles work longer. But for more... Oh, actually, you know what? No, we could fit in more vehicles. I don't think that side is really a place where we put it, because it sort of... It fences off whereby most of our vehicles would wind up coming from, but you know, if it works. Obviously, this would probably fit in a more industrial area, which we haven't built out for Livland Junction yet. And, oops, sorry. Based off of the way the wind blows, our industrial area would be somewhere in here. Well, I think right now at the town center, we might move it. We'll probably move it in the future. But right now, we'll fit in right here. Let's see. Let's do that, and then let's just watch the... Hopefully watch the trucks come out, because we need a lot of maintenance. And that, for the most part, was the last thing I had planned out. We've done quite a bit of work drawing out Millersborg. Hello? Oh boy. We've now been expanding out there so much that things aren't going well up in Lakeview. Which, considering the lack of development in Livland Junction and the fact that of how much time we've actually spent down here, we might need to return there soon enough. It does strike me there was one more thing I had on my mind, but I'm not going after it yet, and that's actually developing Livland proper. That's coming. It's coming. So yeah, I'm gonna have to, off camera, make sure all the major roads still have their names. Hello? I think the game is lagging. It is going so slow. Oops, still falling. Give me a second. Yeah, we're actually starting to see whereby the game goes slow. Ooh, dump truck. Ah, yes. And that would be something I'll explore, is maybe moving the city dump over here. Because that is something that's been on my mind. Is at some point, we need to move the city dump. I think I figured somewhere right here might be in the future. But I've always been open to having it also within here. Which, you know, when you're mining coal, city dumps are usually a good idea to have nearby. See, yeah, within the time of this stream, all of these have literally gone up to level 5. Almost reached level 5. I think... Oh, yeah, no, this is definitely level 5. You can tell by the way it looks. That one's also level 5. How many of our farms have reached level 5? That one's at 4. The ones we made last stream are at 3. That's 4, 4. 5. Yeah. Oops, that was my one. What I actually wanted was this, whereby we could take a look at our production real quick and see that we are making a metric surplus in coal. So hopefully the city will find a use for that. Probably I'm going to need to develop some new industrial districts, which will involve returning to Lakeview, or buying this tile right here and expanding Livland Junction. But I think a lot of that's going to fall on next stream. I'm trying to think if there's anything left. The only other thing would just be playing the game until we hit daytime, because as much as I like Aurora Borealis, the game will be dark when it wants to be. No? You know what? I think we'll just run that outro cinematic. So give me one sec. Okay, so we're maybe not done yet. Just gonna go over a few things real quick. One, in about a week's time, when this VOD leaves Twitch, it's gonna go up on YouTube. And this is, just as a fun fact, the first VOD since I have recovered my 4K settings. So this VOD will actually be available on YouTube in 4K as soon as it's done on Twitch. For those who don't know, Twitch is just a VOD based off of the stream as streamed to Twitch. That's limited to about 720p. So you're going to get 4 times the resolution on YouTube. Additionally, I'm not making any promises about future streams, but there are a lot in the plans. That Mac tag that I use, probably going to get used actually be legitimate sooner or later due to a few projects I'm working on. But yeah, lots of changes surprisingly happening. That's I'm not going to say it's the big reason why there haven't been streams. The big reason is just, you know, I don't really do them all that much. And, hasn't hit. The last VOD surprisingly hit on YouTube though. So, never know what's coming in the future. But, with all that out of the way, thanks for stopping by. See you all in the next one. And of course, au revoir.